Okay, everybody, this is the review of the Do Now for day 5 of our distance learning. So, the Do Now topic for this week is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, which we did about 3 or 4 months ago in school. So, I'm going to just go through the steps for all 4 of these answers, and I will circle those answers here at the end. So, our first question up there is adding fractions. So, when we're adding fractions, our first step is to stack our fractions and numbers on top of each other. So we have 21 and 1/3 plus 21 and 2/5. Now, when I'm adding or subtracting fractions, I cannot add or subtract fractions that don't have common denominators. So there I see a 5 and a 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about what is the least common multiple of 5 and 3. So when I do that, it's 15. Both 5 and 3 can make 15. So I'm going to put a 15 here, a 15 here, and I know I need to make an equivalent fraction here. So I'm going to multiply this by 5, this by 5, and now I'm left with 1/3 is the same as 5/15. Down here I'm going to multiply by 3, and I get 6/15. So all I did was I just made 1/3 5/15 and 2/5 6/15. Those are equivalent fractions. Now since they have denominators that are the same, I can now add those. So 5/15 plus 6/15 gets me 11/15. And then 21 plus 21 gets me 42. This is my final answer. This is in good looking terms because I cannot reduce the 11/15 by any number. So that's my final answer. For number 2 now, fractions are the same thing. So these are actually going to look the exact same here. So 5/15 and 1/3, same thing as what I did over here. And the 2/5 is still the 6/15. Again, when I'm adding, subtracting fractions, I need common denominators. Now, I'm going to subtract 5/15 and 6/15. Unfortunately, I can't take away 5/15 from 6/15, so I have to regroup. So I'm going to take one whole from the 123 and make that 122. And then I'm going to add the whole, which is 15/15 over to my fraction. So this over here now becomes 20/15. So one more time, this is regrouping. I couldn't do 5/15 minus 6/15, so I went and I took 1 from the whole. This became 122, and then I gave the whole over here. Giving the whole as fractions, 15 over 15 is 1 whole. So I gave that 1 whole. Again, I cut up this pizza into 15 slices, and I gave all 15, 1 whole, to the 5/15. Now I have 20/15 minus 6/15, which is 14/15. And then over here I have the 122 minus 21, which is 101. Again, this is in lowest terms, so I'm left with 101 and 14/15 is my final answer. For this section down here, I have 2 1/9 times 4/5. When I multiply, I don't stack my numbers, but I do need to make these into regular fractions or improper fractions because I can't multiply across without doing so. So I'm going to take 2 1/9 and make this 9 times 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So this is really 19/19, and this is really 4/5. Then I'm going to multiply directly across. I don't need common denominators when I'm multiplying. So I'm going to go across. So I'm going to do 19 times 4 first, which is 76. And then 9 times 5, which is 45. That answer is a good answer as a 5th grader, but as a 6th grader, you need to make this into good-looking form, which means you make this improper fraction into a mixed number. To do so, I'm just going to divide the 45 into the 76. So I have 45 into the 76. This goes once, and I'm left with 31 left over. So your answer here is 1 whole and 31/45 is my final answer. And then my division, last step here. When I divide, first step, that 9 is the same as 9/1. When I divide, I don't need common denominators, but I'm going to convert this division to multiplication by, remember, doing keep, change, flip. Then I multiply directly across, I get 9/5. As a 5th grader, that answer is fine, but as a 6th grader, this needs to be made good looking. So I'm going to divide the 5 into the 9, and I get 1. So I get 1, and I have left over 4. So your answer then is 1 4/5, which is the best looking answer you could have here.